Ele está chamando. Ela está falando. Ele está falando, perguntando. Estou perdido. She's saying he's an idiot. Anything else? Falando, perguntando, respondendo. Anything else? Ele está precisando ela. No? Yes? He needs her. He needs her. Because he's saying, I'm lost. And she's saying, call a taxi.
Ela está exigindo, call a taxi.
Call a taxi. Yes. So we get the idea, guys. Yes?
Oh, what was that?
I'm sorry? Cha, I know, eh? With a T. Anyways. So this is how the inductive approach would start out. Teacher may be coming in, maybe using some sort of authentic material and having the students induce from. You know, from the examples being given to you, in this case here, these actions, you can induce from or discover that he is lost, so he is asking. Ele está perguntando. He is, I don't know, perguntando, asking. Elos está falando. Yes, I need my Portuguese. I need a polish there. So basically, you were introduced to these verbs, and you were able to induce from and identify them in the video here. What we're going to do now is we're going to do some sort of discovery learning techniques. Like I mentioned before to you guys, inductive learning would imply you guys discovering for yourselves what the rules are. So in order to do that, I'm going to have you guys, in the 3 teams that you guys are in right now, you guys are going to identify for me what the rules are. Team number one, you're going to be identifying the rules using the present continuous using these 14 examples that I have here. If you were able to generalize a rule using this structure, what would it be? You're going to generalize it based on the examples that I gave to you, based on the context. Team number 2, what I'm going to ask you guys to do is, you're going to identify for us, you're going to tell us what is a subject-verb agreement with subject pronoun and the verb to be estar. What is the rule? Okay. Based on the examples that you have here. And last but not least, you guys, what you guys are going to come up with a generalization based on these examples here of grouping the correct endings of the verbs. Capiche? Capiche? Yes, Megan.
I just have a quick pronunciation question.
Yes.
In Portuguese, where do you do most of your pronunciation? Is it like in the front or in the back?
Good question.
Is it for
next week? That's my moment. Damn moment. No, I don't know. Good question.
Just because there are some sounds that are I didn't know if it's like French in the back or more in Spanish.
It sounds, people say that, my wife says that my parents sound like they're speaking French.
That's what I was telling you. It sounds like French.
Well, that's what it sounds like. My parents speak, it sounds like they're yelling, but that's something else. That's a different class altogether. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do, Team 1, you're going to generalize the rule. Team 2, you're going to generalize. And Team 3, I'll give you guys... Sorry. No. Sorry, I made a mistake, guys. Wait. No. You guys can do it. Yeah, I believe in you, ladies. I believe in you. Yes? Wait.
What is the first one?
Just this one.
You guys can do it.
Okay.
No, you guys can speak amongst yourselves.
Okay.
The first person. Well, actually, everything
Yes?
So in personal, personal being yourself is impersonal is but there are more plural and personal and
the rules for use our present use.
When the verb ends in "are", we use "am".
And that's ours.
That's their,
That's
the
our
rule for
time.
using the structure.
Yeah.
Look at the end.
Semantic, like, yeah. Semantic use.
A ver, ahí está.
Look,
Why do we use?
neste momento, agora mesmo,
Yeah.
as
They actually realize in this moment.
neste momento,
The actions are
Right now.
yeah, right now.
I might be going easier if I can with my sister.
your brother-in-law is from Porto, or he probably knows where my parents are from, São Miguel.
Oh, from the
islands. No, they call us cousins. They call my
They
parents.
went there, they told people, because we have and yeah, they told they went to the
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But I told them, I said, you know, my friend said that they are like peasants.
He probably said yes. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Even my parents told me these guys from the continent think we're peasants.
And they went to the market, I told them they are not peasants, the oldest family.
No, then we're peasants. Okay, ladies? Okay?
Yeah.
Yes? What I'm going to ask you guys to do now, I'm going to ask you guys to nominate one person from each team. What we're going to be doing now is, this is where the inductive approach, this is where the modern style of learning comes in. Like I mentioned before, the inductive approach is seen as radical to some because it uses some new discovery techniques. What I'm going to do with you guys right now, like I mentioned before, the students take the center stage here. We're going to be using the jigsaw method. Are we familiar with jigsaw?
Jigsaw, yes.
Okay, the puzzle, jigsaw puzzle. Tony, you're familiar with the jigsaw method?
It
Yes.
would be like,
Yes. Yes. It's when,
You put together information.
I'm sorry?
You put together information from all the teams.
Okay, so what do we need to do first?
Ask each other.
Ask each other? But, for example, I have team 1, team 2, and team 3. We need,
Which parts we have.
okay, figure out which part. So what we need to do now is we need to nominate one person from each team, and what you guys are going to do is you guys are going to report to each other what you know. At the end of this cycle, or round, each team should know not just their own rule, but the other two rules. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is nominate one person from your team, to be rotating to the other two teams to report to them the rule appointed to them or assigned to them. Yes?
No, she.
Yes? You're going to report your rule to these guys. So Tony's going to report here. Yes, come. You're going to report to the other teams. Yes. Yes. Please.
Yo les voy a decir lo que diremos. Es el acuerdo entre el sujeto y el verbo.
En portugués nos tienes que hablar.
Ah, sí. Me quedé blanco.
That's what you were
So,
okay.
these are the pronouns.
Now you're going to report to these
So
guys.
don't distract me.
2 minutes.
With a different person. ¿No? Este es el yo, will be I, will be tú, él, ella, he, she, then nosotros, ustedes, y ellos. Which will be we, you, and they. And then we have, as in English, we have the I am, the be, eu, estou.
Well said. Yes, well said.
Then, você está. Él está. Ella está. ¿No? Si estuvieron, José está, sí, ¿no? José está,
Yes. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys to rotate. Rotate to the next scene, please.
Eres Stau.
Ishta.
And which would be the difference between
Elas.
y ella? Pronunciation.
Elas e elos.
Elas.
Elas, the girls, e elos.
Okay. Elas. Elas.
This is not the formal way.
Você, yes. Você, yes. If you're addressing a man, it's o senhor ou o senhor está bem. Sim, você está. Eu estou bem. Está bom. There's the formal way to address the man or the formal way to address the woman. A senhora está bem? Eu estou bem. Está bom. A gente? Oui. It could be a gente está ou nós.
Ou nós
Estamos.
¿Sí? ¿Están de acuerdo?
Yes. So Tony's going to go over here and then we're done.
The structure is, I guess, subject, then the verb is and then the verb of the action, the verb of and the stamm are negative verb. I don't speak about actions that are happening right now.
It's the pronunciation.
And tell us if it ends with AR.
No, it's ando.
I could be saying
AR, ando. ER, endo, ando.
One minute.
Not yet.
Not yet? Tony, they need you. What do you need?
Spend your time.
What do you need from me?
my paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the verb to be.
Finish? Okay. Yes, you reported to these guys? Fantastic. 1 minute, guys. I'm going to give you guys a verb. Don't show it to anyone else. Yes. You would have to invite me, eh? You can't do it alone.
No le enseñes si es
Don't show. I will help you. I will help you.
This one is they.
Don't show.
like no
Don't show. Okay, guys? Yes. Fantastic. So what can we generalize from each of the teams? From team one, what can we understand when it came to the rule for using the present continuous in Portuguese? What did you guys understand from these guys?
nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
It was you guys.
I'm a really bad teacher.
Action happening at the moment, and it's subject plus the verb estar plus the action with an ending depending on the ending of the verb itself.
Fantastic, that is the form there.
So I'm
Fantastic.
not about teacher.
We're paying attention.
I was going to ask you guys, what were the key words to describe and talk about actions happening now? Agora, neste momento. Yes, agora mesmo. Okay. Agora. Logo. Agora. Now. Let's go to team 2. Which were the subject pronouns with the correct form of the verb to be? Tony had the tough job here. Yes? What do you guys recall?
¿Qué aprendieron?
Yes.
And we have for each pronoun, for each person, we have a specific form of conjugation of the verb.
Talk to me, Simona. Fala. Fala comigo.
Eu estou. Tu ou você está. Elas, eles, ela, eles estão. Nós ou a gente estamos. Vocês estão. Eles, elas estão.
Fantastic. Did I miss anything else? Ah, and the last one. Team 3. What was this? What can we generalize from this here? These guys have a top. Okay, the ending. Talk to me. Give me some examples.
According to the infinitive of the verb, we
Okay.
are going to add ando, dono, and so are,
Okay.
be ando, and it, be er, be
Fantastic. Nice.
Say that the generalizations NDO because they are into A and DO, ER with E and DO, and IR with I and DO. So really all you have to remember is NDO.
True. True. Yes. Even easier. Even easier. I didn't even think about that way. Fantastic. So we can, before we wrap it up with this, wrap it up for me, what you guys learned with the inductive approach. Very different from deductive. Inductive implies giving the rule. You giving the rules?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You discover the rules in context, like I gave the examples here in the video. Student-centered. You discover the rules. Anything else?
We put them together.
You guys put them together. And then we did the jigsaw method. Be very careful, guys. This is, again, a very effective, very communicative. If your focus is on fluency, happening before accuracy, mission accomplished here. But it's very important if you plan to implement this sort of technique in the classroom, where you guys were doing the jigsaw, you guys were going and reporting your generalizations to the other group. It's very important that the teacher, you guys, are monitoring, because what happens is with this approach here, a student or students may miss the point, but maybe make mistakes with the guesses and hypotheses of the rules. That is why it's very important. No, this is not how you use it. But the idea is that they induce from the information or the context being provided for them, but it's you there to guide the students to make sure that they're not making hypotheses. I don't know if that's even a word. Thank you, Tony. Misconceptions about the rules, its form and also its use. Okay. Anything else, guys? That we can.
Can you tell us how can we control them? Because
Yes, I need to let you guys know, in order to use this sort of approach in your classroom, you have to have some strong management skills.
Yeah.
Strong management. The bigger the classroom, the harder it would be to use this sort of approach. Is it possible? Anything is possible if you guys really want to do it. But again, this sort of approach here, be prepared that it is noisier than in a deductive classroom setting.
And it's easier with adults.
And it is easier with adults.
Yes.
I'm going to intervene there. There are some students who may be a little bit more hesitant to this approach. The reason being is that
they're not sure about themselves.
Yeah.
It's
lack of confidence.
It's not so much lack of confidence. The previous learning experiences that most older adults or adults have is a teacher-led classroom. In other words, a teacher who have used or who uses the deductive approach. So you have some students who say, ah, this is new, this is different. There are others who say, I'm not learning anything. It's just a matter, guys, of you finding the balance, the medium point, the common ground. You know what works. There is no good nor bad approach in this. I presented to you the good points of each technique, the good and the bad points of each. It's just a matter of you guys finding the middle ground. Okay? Any questions? Questions? Okay? So before we actually wrap this up, I'm going to give you guys some verbs, and verbs are some words, and you kind of generalize of what you learned today. Discover. It could be one of the two approaches. Inductive. Okay. Hypothesize or guess.
Inductive.
Okay, inductive. Teacher-led.
Deductive.
Okay. TOEIC, TOEFL preparation. Deductive. Oh, fantastic. Time-saving. Deductive. Time-consuming. Noisy. Student-centered.